but automation just took 8 freaking minutes to load, which is not really my fault, unless you blame it on my processor, which kind of is my fault. But in any case, like, it always seems that automation takes forever to load on the first startup, and then once it's started up once, and you close it and then you load it again, it's fine. It goes really quickly, but the first time, man, it's a pain in the ass. Freaking, yeah, 8 minutes this time. But in any case, I'm gonna be building a new supercar, and I'm gonna be building it in 2016, because it's December 2015. Won't be very long until we change year. And well, for a supercar, what do we take? Obviously a mid-engined body like this one. And okay, let me do the morphing a little bit. Something like this. And something like that. And stretch this out. Yeah, okay. Now what do we do about these how do you call these? The horns. Do we want big horns, or do we want no horns? Do we want to make it flat, or extend this a little bit? You want to raise these panels, or I think we're gonna keep them like this, roughly, and then add a wing later. Yes, okay. I like this silhouette, and yes, we are going to build a V12 for this car. Unfortunately, there's no turbos, but you know, could be worse. Longitudinal. There's not really a downside to having push rods on the front end on this body, because you know, compactness is not really that important. Off-road is not important. Production units and engineering time is not important on a supercar. But we do get more sportiness and lower weight than with the double wishbone, so I'm gonna go with push rod up front. Probably push rod on the rear as well. Yes. Oh yeah, and now that I've said this is going to be a supercar, what do I mean by that? Like somebody, I think somebody has asked me what I think the difference, or if I could define the difference between a sports car, a supercar, and a hypercar. Look, the way I would put it is this. The difference between a sports car, a supercar, and a hypercar is their main purpose. The main idea behind the car, which for a sports car is usually it being fun to drive. Kind of evolving a little bit faster than your average car, sure, but you know, not really blowing the doors off, and still, you know, fun and relatively easy to drive. That's a sports car for you. A supercar is mainly focused on performance, like track performance, acceleration, and so on, while still being accessible, whereas a hypercar is usually mainly about straight line performance, acceleration, and top speed. Therefore, I would say that the LaFerrari, the McLaren P1, and the Porsche 918 are not hypercars; they are supercars. Whereas the Lamborghini Murcielago for its time was a hypercar. It was a hypercar for sure. And the first hypercar, I think, was the McLaren F1, because that was the first time that the car was really purposely built for the highest possible top speed, and it was actually also really fast. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. So this is going to be a supercar, something for the track that is still, you know, kind of road usable, shall we say. It's still gonna be tame enough to drive it on the roads. It's not gonna be a hardcore track day car. Hello, Blazels. How's it going? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Also, I hope that the stream is actually working, because I used to have really bad issues with streaming automation, and I contacted the support of my broadcasting software, and they told me exactly what to do, and I hope it's working now. It is working for Action Hank. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make the outer shape for these headlights. I think this might be a little bit too long, this grill arrangement. It is working just fine for me. Okay, that's great to hear. Oh, you're the one who suggested me to put a Noble M600. That's nice. I remember that actually. It's been a while. Like it's a pretty long time ago by now. Wait, let me put this here, make that a little bit longer, and put that like there. And then what I'm gonna do is just like there. Wait, we can make this a lot longer. Like that. And then I'm gonna clone this one. I'll put it down like that. And make this one a little bit longer as well. Okay. Wait. These are not symmetrical, or this one doesn't go to the middle. Like that. Righty. So as I said, this is gonna have a V12 engine. I don't know how large of a V12 we can fit into this engine bay, into this body shell. I mean, it's gonna be naturally aspirated because there's no V12 turbos yet, but you know, you can still get a decent amount of power out of a V12 when it's naturally aspirated. Excuse me? No, that's not the one I wanted to select. This one. Okay. This is a little bit rough, it seems. That'll do it for now. It's not gonna be the most elegant, but it should work at the very least. Now we're gonna put in the headlights. And I think we should make these a little bit longer. Move this one a little bit further down, like that. And the one in the middle is going to be a little bit thinner, like so, and then the one on the bottom is going to be extended like that. That is an aggressive look, and it certainly looks exotic. Now what we need is a bumper to match. A bumper which we are gonna create by you know what, I'm gonna put down the shape for the bumper first. First of all, it's gonna be divided like this. I'm gonna make something like that. And then something like that. And then make sure that we are going to cover the parts over here, because I'm gonna stretch a grill across this. Yes, okay. And of course these kind of stripes don't really look like much until you actually put some fixtures around them to see what it looks like in the end, right? Like I can tell that this is not this looks kind of weird until all the fixtures are in, but now you can see the idea that I was going for. Because now that the grill is in and you can see the shape that remains here, you can visualize it. What I had in mind right away. That's the thing about this technique. Actually, you know what? This doesn't really look that remarkable. I'm gonna move this over here. Delete that. Delete this. Get that over here. That looks a little bit more complex, a little bit more outlandish, which is perfectly fine for this car. And I am gonna be putting this number plate down here. And since it's 2016, we need side indicators. So we get that. I'm gonna put some. Should we put some crazy vents on the side? Sure, why not? Vents. What do we do? Should we put some of these on here? That doesn't look right. What else? We don't have that many options here. We could add some of these, like right there. It's me! Hello Shark! How's it going? Good, just test and stuff for the attorney. That's fine. What kind of stuff are you testing? No, it's... You're gonna stream your match later? Probably not, but I'm gonna host your stream. Oh, thank you for the host. You know what, let's move all of this a little bit further to the side here. And then move one of these to here. So I can then put a taillight fixture and the area that is between those stripes will be the taillight. I really should play this game more often. I mean, you should. I mean, nobody is gonna tell you that you have to. But it's really a fun game. It's especially like trying out these things that I'm doing right now. I've seen a couple of people on the forums actually thanking me for my videos and for the techniques I'm using here and the kind of things that I've brought to the design element of this game. They're basically using the techniques that I'm doing right here, and they say that's helped them out a lot, being more creative and more unique with their designs, and I'm very, very happy about that. But I only have the demo and I'm saving up for a proper PC. You don't need a quote-unquote proper PC in order to run automation. It doesn't have that high of a requirement. But of course you can improve your game's performance if you have a proper PC. Right, so for the bumper we're gonna use one of those. Start off with one of them at least. And then we're gonna put a normal plate into that. Right there. Some exhaust, of course. And because this is an exotic car. Oh yeah, okay. If you wanna play a game like The Crew, then you're needing some better performance on your PC, for sure. That's no question about that. I think to round the bumper up we insert some braking lights. Like that. And then over here we can still put some vents there. Like, where are they? These ones. The monitor since a few weeks time. Yeah, at least that's a start. By the way, if you didn't know that, I live in an apartment with my best friend Alex, and we got a huge desk. Like he's got a monitor that used to be a flat screen TV, and I got my 22-inch monitor there as well. And there's like plenty of space between our two, keyboard and monitor setups, and enough space behind it for our two chairs and to move about a little bit. Like that is one hell of a desk, I can tell you that much. And it's fine. It's working. I'm happy. So this right here is what our rear end is going to look like. Alrighty. That means now you're gonna paint this thing something like orange or black, maybe. These headlights in black. It looks so mean in black when you look at it from an angle like this. That's what they should call a new movie, Mean in Black. Get it? So now, we are going to be putting in one of these bad boys. Unfortunately, that is exactly what I was expecting. Engine base is not big enough to support a big V12. Let's see, 72. How far can we go in the displacement? Okay, 74 here. Let's go for a 3.5 liter. And should we try and make this thing produce like 600 horsepower? I think we should, because it's more fun. Let's go for some expensive materials, because we are gonna need them, and some quality in here as well, because we want to rev this thing up to the moon. And to make sure this thing is still somewhat reliable, we need better quality parts. A very high cam profile. I might even go up to 100 later. Naturally aspirated, there's no turbos yet. A throttle per cylinder for great throttle response. Performance intake for the same reason. Because this is a road car, I'm not gonna be putting race intakes, because that is not allowed on a road car. Pretty rich fuel mixture here. 9,000 RPM limit. And race tubular headers which are allowed, they are road legal as long as your engine is not too loud. We're gonna be making something like this. Quality exhaust. Okay, so we need a lot higher compression. Please give me the chart, thank you. 93.6 octane is what we're using right now. We can go higher on the RPMs. There we go, now we get a little bit of valve float. Not too much though. So let's give this thing a good old bump in head quality. And increase the cam profile some more. This thing is making its peak power at 9500 RPM. That is, oh my god. At 10,000. Okay. Why not? Why not have a V12 that revs to 10,500 RPM? Why the heck not? $566 horsepower. How loud is this now? 62.2. That is still okay. I would say that is about as much as a Ferrari would make. Let's add some power pulse valves so it's a little bit quieter in the lower RPMs. And now let's actually listen to this thing. It really is quiet in low RPMs. In the high RPMs, it actually really sounds like an old F1 car, doesn't it? Like when they used to have the V8, I think, F1 engine. It sounds closest to this one, but it really sounds like an old F1 car. That's lovely. It's awesome. All right. I think I'm gonna put some quality into the fuel system as well, so we can use more octane for a little bit more compression. This gives us even more power. If we add one more point in here, that's 570 horsepower from a 3.5 liter V12. Alrighty. Sequential double clutch gearbox. And electric LSD, so we can put down the power as best as we can. 298 kilometers an hour estimated top speed. Excuse me? This one is going faster than that. Okay, what kind of tires do we want? Obviously sports tires. I think 325s on the rear should be fine, and in the front let's go for like 275, so we can adjust this later. Magnesium rims for extra style points, if you will. Bigger diameter, 20-inch rim diameter. Right. Carbon brakes. A fully clad under tray for a great top speed. I will give this an active wing because that'll make it so we don't lose very much top speed while still being able to make a lot of downforce. A little bit of brake airflow never hurt anybody, and a little bit of aero quality. And then let's give this a sport interior of like standard infotainment, all driver assists, and standard 2010 safety. The safety is going to be good enough in this car because it is from carbon fiber, so it is very stiff. Active sport suspension, and we'll tune this a little bit later. At least we're gonna do the fine tuning a little bit later. I'm gonna give this a rough setup for what I think is gonna work. Some more quality in the suspension, because this thing is meant to be cornering really well. Yeah, the economy is where I expected it to be. 81.6 sportiness is definitely nothing to sneeze at. 3 seconds from 0 to 100. Yeah, 345 kilometers an hour. Let's see. actually, you know what this reminds me of? Now that it's accelerating hard. Wait, let's go to the straight, the long straight. Do you hear that sound? It sounds like a motorbike. A two-cylinder motorbike is what this reminds me of. Like you can search like, I don't know, a Ducati Panigale S and listen to that engine sound. That is pretty much what this sounds like in higher RPMs. Give me a second. I'm gonna tone up. I'm gonna crank up the sound a little bit more. There is the engine sound. Where is it now? Car model 1. There we go. Oh, there it is. That didn't save apparently. So test track. Let's listen to it once again. On the upshift from 4th to 5th, it did a little flame spitting. It does 0 to 300 kilometers an hour in 20.8 seconds. That is pretty much as fast as a Lamborghini Aventador, but that one has 700 horsepower and a 6.5 liter engine, whereas this only has a 3.5 liter engine. Or a little bit like a scooter. Yeah, that top speed is more along the lines of what I was looking for. Okay, so the gearing of 40 seems appropriate here. What is this actual top speed? 338. We are oversteering. So what we need is a little bit more rear tire. Okay. Or we need just a different suspension setup here. That doesn't make things necessarily better. This one should... Oh, let's increase the spring stiffness up front instead. Should this not make it like... Oh, the front sway bar should make it a little bit more drivable. Do you think you will ever play a F1 game, or are you really into F1? Not really that much. And the reason for that is that I think it's not as exciting as like rallying or something where you drive on different surfaces. It's just me probably, but wait, give me a second here, I need to tune this. But F1 games are just kind of always, they always feel kind of samey. They look like everyone's got basically the same car, everyone's got basically well, there's fuel stops and whatnot, some stuff that distracts from actually driving and whatnot. It's just, I can see the point in playing those games. Surely they're not bad or anything, but it's not for me, I think. There we go, this thing finally no longer oversteers. Okay, now it does again. Okay, we got two 55s up front. and 305s on the rear. And I will keep on playing them myself. Yeah, that's fine. Play whatever you like best. Okay. Let's see. How does this do around the F8 track? Man, this is a fast car. From 0 to 200 kilometers an hour, it's so fast. 112.02. Holy crap. That's faster than the PAC Mono, isn't it? The PAC Mono did it in 113.8? No, that was the Pagani Huayra, right? Wait, oh, what did it do? I'm not sure anymore. I can't remember. Alrighty. But I still want to change some things about this car. For example, the wing angles. Just kidding? What did you say? Oh, the stick drives the scooter around the Top Gear test track. Did that make any difference at all? Yes, but a negative one. So let's go without it. 345 kilometers an hour. So it is faster with the fully clad under tray around the track. That's interesting. 3 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. That is right on par with the cars that this would compete against, like the Lamborghini Huracan, the McLaren 650S. Maybe it's 1 or 2 tenths shy, but then again, it also has the smallest engine. And well, what does this car cost even? 222,900 euros. So the price is not necessarily cheaper, and especially considering that if you want to make profit with this car, you gotta sell it for at least a plus 10% markup, and then it really isn't cheaper at all than its rivals. In fact, it might even be more expensive. But it does have the track performance to back it up. $112.02. That is super fast. And now we're gonna see how fast this is over the quarter mile. Oh, it did it on the upshift from 3rd to 4th and from 4th to 5th. The famous bit. 10.49, so that's a 10.5 quarter mile. Faster than a Lamborghini Huracan, faster than an Aventador as well. I don't know what time the 650S does, the McLaren. But I'm sure that this is definitely right up there. So yeah, that is a pretty sweet time. Anything else that you would change in this car? Maybe some more quality on the gearbox won't hurt. Actually, it did hurt the performance here. It did make for slightly more wheel spin, more cast, and slower acceleration. But the acceleration goes back down to 3 seconds if we just adjust this a little bit. What about the top speed? 340. Okay, that's a round number. We can deal with that. I can appreciate it. Also, holy crap, it stops from 100 kilometers an hour in just 30 meters, even slightly less than that. That's what I like. The only way of stopping faster than that is by hitting a tree. So, what does it do now around the effort track? Because with the improved quality on the gearbox, it should be faster around here as well. 111.92. That's less than. That's under 112. I've never had a road legal car. I've never built a road legal car that's faster than that. So yeah, especially with quote unquote only 570 horsepower. Yeah, okay, I like it. So this is gonna be the 2016 small V12. 16 valve S for small, and then this is the 3512 S 60 valve. 3.5 for 3.5 liters, 12 for 12 cylinders, S for sport, and 60 valve for 60 valves on the engine head. Okay, let's see. In the hyper category, sportiness is really up there. Prestige is, what is the prestige? 58. Sure, I mean we got 12 cylinders and we got carbon fiber everything, so it should be up there. How can we improve the score? More sportiness and more prestige, basically. Premium infotainment. It would make this more desirable, more competitive, but would it also make it slower? I think it would, because it adds weight. Okay, we need to wait a little bit longer. (1:12:01). That's still pretty much the same time that it did without the quality in the gearbox. You know what? I think I'm gonna stick with this. Premium infotainment, sport interior, standard safety. Is there anything else I can do to make this engine a little bit more powerful? Sure, I could increase the quality slightly some more, but that would also make the car overall a lot more expensive. And we're getting to a point where it's gonna be a little bit hard to justify the price if I increase the price even further. So let's see if we can change something with just the engine setup rather than with adding more quality. Now this makes the power come in 100 RPMs earlier, so that should make it slightly faster again, and also more drivable apparently, and more economical. No, it's actually slower here on the top speed. Same track time. Or if we go for slightly less compression and then up this a little bit more. Okay. Alright. 571 horsepower. What about now? 112.03. Well, looks like that was the wait. I think we were here, right? Yeah. I think that was pretty much the ideal setup then. Right. Okay. So this is our supercar here. 2016. I'm gonna think of a name a little bit later. This is the V12 version of this, and I think I'm gonna say thank you for thank you for watching this automation, the supercar build. I will now pause the stream a little bit and come back with some action player multi-ing. So stay around if you want to watch that as well. If not, thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you again next time.